Government rejects claims former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu was subjected to an unfair removal process. We'll hear from the Office of the Attorney General. Also coming up this morning, President John Dramani Mahama tasked contractor on the Ofankor-Nsawam Highway to complete their stretch by second quarter of 2026. And Black Stars of Ghana to play penultimate World Cup qualifier against Chad later today. Well, we have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes if you spend your time with me. You can also get interactive with us. We're live on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. Let's begin from the presidency, as President John Dramani Mahama has secured a firm commitment from contractors on the Ofankor-Nsawam Road project to complete all works by the second quarter of 2026. This follows a high-level visit to the site to address prolonged delays that have exacerbated traffic woes for thousands of commuters. Here's a report by Komla Kluche.
Work stalled for about 8 months following non-payment to the contractor, a situation which sparked agitation by drivers, commuters and residents over the deplorable condition of the stretch. Maripoma Enterprise Limited, the contractor, however, returned to site after receiving the payment of $78 million from government about 2 weeks ago.
President, at the time you took office, the contractor raised a certificate of almost $78 million before NPP left power, and they did not pay him. So it was surprising that just after you took office, people were expecting that what they could not do all over that period, you will do it. But guess what, Mr. President, you did it. As of today, Mr. President, every certificate owed the contractor on this project has been paid entirely. So we don't owe the contractor any amount on this project.
Rehabilitation of the Ofankor-Nsawam Road, estimated at $346.5 million, commenced in July 2022, with original scheduled completion in 2024. However, due to a number of challenges, including interruptions, the completion date was extended to May 2025. The project, which forms part of the Accra-Kumasi Highway N6, is a critical international corridor linking Ghana's capital to Nsawam, Kumasi and the Sahelian region, including Burkina Faso and Mali. Chief Resident Engineer Kwabena Bempong says after receiving the payment, there will be no more delays.
We've done almost 75% of the project. We still have the last structure, which is the Nsawam underpass to undertake. Once that is done, we should be able to complete this project per the extension of time that we've given to the contractor to next year, around the second quarter, we should be done.
President Mahama wondered why the project remains uncompleted despite the amount of public funds spent on it.
A loan was taken for this project, and I don't understand why the money is finished and the project is not over, and that we're having to come and pay supplementary almost $78 million from government of Ghana funds. So that's something that we need to find out.
He gave a clear marching order on the progress of work, which he has included under the Big Push agenda.
So I can see that drivers are happy now, and I hope that from now till when you finish the project, you maintain a smooth flow of traffic, even as you're working, so that you don't impede the flow of traffic. So we'll hold you to your word. You say by end of second quarter next year, you should be finished. Okay.
It remains a critical project, even as the government embarks on its infrastructure drive to open up the country for investment and growth. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Amasaman.
And I'm sure residents at these environs can now heave a sigh of relief, knowing that this very project will be completed second quarter of 2026. Away from that, the leadership of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association has rendered an unqualified apology to Health Minister Kwabena Mintah-Kando for their sharp comments following a recent incident at the Ridge Hospital. Other issues discussed also aimed at strengthening the work relationship between the nurses and government.
The apology comes after a viral video showed relatives of a patient engaged in heated exchanges with medical staff at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital's emergency unit, highlighting the need for better security measures in healthcare facilities. The controversy began when General Secretary of the Nurses Group, Dr. Tinkran Chung, made comments suggesting that the Health Minister Akando's background as a farmer made him unfit to understand hospital operations.
Minister who said there are systems over there. If he doesn't understand, he should get somebody to educate him. They will give you first aid or whatever, but they will attend to other people who need more a year. It doesn't mean that they are delaying whatever. So that statement doesn't make sense to me at all. It doesn't make sense. Whoever wrote that statement doesn't even understand the hospital system.
This statement sparked widespread criticism, with many describing it as disrespectful and unprofessional. The Ghana National Association of Farmers and Fishermen strongly condemned Dr. Tinkran's remarks, giving him a 24-hour ultimatum to retract his statements and apologize, a statement that received a response from the sector minister.
I have been reminded of the fact that I'm a farmer. Yes, nobody needs to remind me. I'm a proud farmer, and everybody knows it. Not until my appointment, I was one of the largest rice farmers in this country, and I'm proud of that. Please, we have a lot to deliver, and some of these things will not divert our attention. We will continue to do our best for Mother Ghana.
In a statement, the ministry noted that the minister, after accepting the apology, pledged to see to the successful implementation of the collective bargaining agreement to improve the conditions of service for nurses and to also support the ongoing transformation of the health sector in line with achieving universal health coverage. The development is expected to help to ease seeming tensions between healthcare professionals and the government, promoting a more collaborative approach to improving the healthcare system.
And now the local government ministry has set Saturday, September 6 as the National Sanitation Day. The minister, in an address, expressed the country's poor sanitation as a national crisis and urged all district and municipal assemblies, MMDCs, and MPs as well as citizens to join hands in making this campaign a success. Here's a report by my colleague Nura Mohammed.
Initially launched in 2014, the National Sanitation Day has made a comeback, spearheaded by the John Dramani Mahama-led government. According to the local government minister Ahmed Ibrahim, this launch will be taking place at the Institute of Local Government Studies in Accra, and stated that operations will begin effective immediately on the 4th of September. During the briefing, he issued directives to the lawmakers and implementers present, while urging the media to be accountability partners. He also cited funding sources, accountability measures, and implementation strategies.
All public spaces, ceremonial streets, and visible nuisances within your jurisdiction must be cleared by 8 a.m. every day. The first 6 months will serve as a performance benchmark, during which assemblies are required to progressively shorten the timeline for removal of nuisance. 80% of the District Assembly Common Fund has been released to all assemblies. We will keep track of assemblies. Sanitation is now a key performance indicator for all MMDCs.
Speaking on behalf of the MPs present, Deputy Agric Minister John Dumelo pledged their support for the campaign. The Dean of MCs in Accra, John Desmond Soa, also said the government will be reviving the town council system.
When we were growing up, there was this town council system whereby if you do, like you mess your area, they will come and sanction you or ask you to pay a penalty. We want to bring this back. As the nation anticipates this day, let's remember, sanitation is a shared responsibility and we must all play our part. Nura Mohammed, TV3 News, Accra.
Indeed, sanitation is a shared responsibility, and so all hands on deck to make sure this very project or initiative thrives in good hope. If you just tune in, you're watching the morning news here on TV3, the first bulletin of the day on TV3. And now the Community Court of Justice of ECOWAS is set to deliver a ruling on the case brought before it by immediate past Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, seeking a suspension of the proceedings to remove her from office and her reinstatement with full entitlement. The former Chief Justice was subsequently dismissed by the President after recommendation from a committee of inquiry which investigated petitioners asking for her removal. Here's a report by Lord Eduasare.
During the hearing, the Attorney General representing the state challenged the suits brought by Justice Tokonu, citing lack of jurisdiction by the ECOWAS Court. The Attorney General averred that the ECOWAS Court proceeding to hear the case by the Chief Justice would result in forum shopping, which could in turn lead to conflicting decisions since the matter was already before Ghanaian courts, including the Supreme Court. But lawyers of the Chief Justice maintain that the case constituted clear human rights violations and not constitutional interpretations. They further prayed for $10 million in compensation for damage to her reputation following her suspension by President Mahama. The ECOWAS Court then adjourned the case to deliver the ruling on the matter. Meanwhile, lawyers of Justice Gertrude Tokonu have filed another application at the ECOWAS Court, urging the Community of Justice Court for an order granting the reliefs contained in her originating application. She is also praying the court to deliver its judgment in her favor, noting that the Attorney General has defaulted in filing a defense to her suit. Per the rules of court, a party to a case is required to file a response within 30 days. Failure to do so means forfeiture of the right to file a defense. Lord Eduasare, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's stay on matters regarding legal. And Deputy Attorney General Justice Shremsai has been explaining why Ghana is yet to file its response to the CJ's case at the ECOWAS Court. Take a listen here, that very interview with my colleague Joseph Akable.
This dawn, we woke up to another process which was served on us from the court, that the former Chief Justice is seeking judgment in default of defense. In other words, that we've not defended the substantive suit. We had 30 days to do so, and that we have not filed our defense. But our preliminary thought is that if we are objecting to the jurisdiction of the court, and the court has taken argument and has adjourned to give a ruling one way or the other, we do not exactly think that we have to file on the substantive issue, because the question before the court is whether the court has jurisdiction. The court has to clear that aspect first, and when it says that it has jurisdiction to assume, then they will order us to file our defense. And indeed, if the court was interested in getting the court could have ordered that we should file our defense together with our preliminary objection, because we were heard. It's not as if we argued that matter in court, in the ECOWAS court, and we were heard. And the court in adjourning didn't give any further direction. They told us that they are rising, and then they have adjourned the case, indefinitely. And when they come back, they will give us further directions. So we were waiting for the court to give us further direction, only to be served with a notice for default of defense. So that is where we are at the moment.
So what are the next steps? You'll be applying for that to be thrown out as well?
Yeah, we would have to file to oppose the application for default judgment.
Well, this is a portion of the full interview. If you missed it, just go to Facebook and just have a feel of that very interview. There's also another interview with the former Chief Justice, Sophia Kufu, done by my colleague Joseph Akable. And in more news this morning, Deputy Director of Operations at the Presidency, Mustafa Gbande, has disagreed with assertions by former Chief Justice Sophia Kufu that the judiciary has been weakened through the removal of Gertrude Tokonu. According to him, persons who have suffered injustice in court appreciate the action taken by the President. He told Christian Yali that Sophia Kufu's opinion is just a feminine advocacy, while rejecting calls to amend Article 146 of the Constitution. Take a listen to Gbande.
I'm very much interested in the judiciary, because for me, the judiciary in Ghana have done me injustice before. So really? I understand how it feels. Yes, a judge sat down and gave a judgment for my 2 houses to be demolished. He hasn't seen me. He hasn't summoned me. And that is supposed to be justice. So it doesn't matter what it takes. I will stand at the peril of every privilege I have to fight for justice in this country. Did President Mahama remove a Chief Justice? No. The law removed a Chief Justice. Madam Sophia Kufu today is not a judge. She is a former judge. She's a former Chief Justice. Yes. She is currently a member of the Council of State, who took this decision, Justice Sophia Akufu was there. So to come out talking this way, for me, betrays her representation and purpose on the Council of State. If she so believed that there were better options, better alternative, as a former Chief Justice privileged to be on the Council of State, she would have prevailed at that level. So to come out like this, I think that it opens the Pandora box for unnecessary judgment of her, her motives, and why she made that statement.
So, is her removal fair in your case?
I'm a very happy man. I'm a very happy man to see the judiciary being cleaned up. President Mahama didn't remove anybody. MPP should stop doing this.
The case of Article 146, which she believes or thinks is problematic, for which reason anyone at all can initiate the process. Do you believe with those who think that if that's the case, that it needs some amendment to strengthen it so that we don't have a situation where tomorrow someone can also just wake up and say that I want this Chief Justice removed and send a petition, upon which petition an action will be taken subsequently?
That is for intellectuals and that is for the discussion. I, as a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, I'm saying that they should keep President Mahama out of this conversation.
So?
President Mahama didn't remove Justice Tokuno. It is the Council of State that built the argument, the document, the report on which a decision was implemented.
Well, Gbandi says he's a happy person regarding the removal of former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokuno. Let's know what you also make of her removal. We are active on Facebook. Get interactive with us at TV3 Ghana. Hopefully, we read your comments and share them to the rest of the world. About 1,200 children under the age of 15 are estimated to develop cancer annually. In addition to leukemia, lymphoma, rhinoblastoma, Wilms tumor, soft tissue sarcoma, and neuroblastoma are among the most common forms in the country. But awareness creation remains poor. That's more in this very report.
Childhood cancers present a significant health problem and contribute to global child mortality. Low and middle-income countries experience high rates of childhood cancer. Health experts say childhood cancers cannot be prevented, but they can be cured. To this end, doctors advise early detection. There's currently 9 childhood cancer treatment centers in Ghana, but the level of awareness remains low. The Greater Accra Regional Hospital is taking the lead to start awareness campaigns in the communities, starting with the Adabraka community in Accra. A childhood cancer specialist at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Nihat Salifu, said symptoms include unexplained weight loss and increased swelling or persistent pain in your child's bones, joints, back, or legs.
So early detection, we always say that early detection is key to cure when it comes to childhood cancers. So that is why we are doing an early detection campaign within the hospitals across the country so that people can pick it up early. Because there are early warning signs and symptoms that people need to know about. And it does not need to be only known within the healthcare facilities, but a mother and a father also need to know it so that when they see it, they will go and attend healthcare immediately.
Government is set to launch the annual Childhood Prevention Cancer Awareness Month at the Ridge Hospital on September 5, 2025. A team of health experts led by the medical director of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Leslie Adams Zakaria, paid a visit to the Adabraka Manche, Ni Tete Ajabane, to indulge him in the campaign. The Queen Mother of Adabraka promised to lead the campaign in her community.
In the community, people are not aware. Now that the regional hospital is going to launch it, I think we will also do the advocacy for them. We need education. We have to educate the people. When we are going, definitely we will call the doctor, the childhood doctor, and he will accompany us. And we will explain to the people, the community.
And now to some exciting news. Black Stars held their final training session in Chad on Wednesday ahead of Thursday, that's today, 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier. A total of 22 players are currently in camp following the absence of Alexander Jiku and Joseph Paintel, who have both been ruled out of the game. Jiku is finalizing a contract in Moscow and will join the team later in the week, while Paintel misses connecting flight from New York due to delays and is expected to be available for the Mali clash in Accra on Monday, September 8. Ghana currently leads Group 1, with 15 points from 6 matches, keeping the team well placed for a 5th FIFA World Cup appearance in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Well, on that sport note, we end today's edition of the Morning News. For more news updates, you'd want to log on to our website, s3news.com. Alternatively, you can also follow us on TV3.gh on Instagram. In a world where you can be anything, just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. Now, Shafo is looking dapper. And should we continue with the morning show? Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Good morning.
The heat in the kitchen has produced our winner. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tamale Asante!
Roland was about 6, 7.
Yeah.
Before 10, growing up, or let's say before 12. What the would you make
Stubborn Academy.
Yeah. Like
Stubborn Academy.
One-on-one with you.
No, but incidentally, I was very quiet in that I did journalism.
Well, I believe you were quiet, but I think you must have been mischievous.
Yeah. Mischief.
You can be quiet and mischievous.
Where did the mischief come from? Your mom or your dad or your uncle?
Oh, I'm not.
Were you a chuka when you were in class? Were you one of those
No.
Hey.
No, I was never a chuka.
Because I don't understand.
But who be chuka self? Somebody where they give people up.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't one.
The one who reminds each other there was homework.
Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, Chairman Prosper, and Chairman Godwin Tamaklo is a group chief executive for the Raid Group. Great man, alongside the wife Alice as well. Dr. Salifu Combat is with the National Health Insurance Authority.
And the Raid School.
Upper East Region. And then I have Zainab Salifu. Zainab Salifu works with the headquarters of the Lands Commission. Beautiful, great, intelligent lady. Good morning to you as well.
Do you know any ugly lady at all? Because all your ladies are beautiful and intelligent.
Yeah.
Do you know any lady who doesn't look good? Do you know anybody at all?
Yeah.
Who is that? You don't want to mention the name. Anyway, Robert Coleman says he's in Chad and we should wish them well today and pray for them. You know the match is today, right?
Yes.
You know Stephen Appiah and Co are all there.
They're all there, yes. And hopefully they do us proud today. I am praying that. What's the scoreline though? Nah.
0-2 in favor of Ghana.
2-0 in
me
favor of
too.
Ghana.
Me too.
You're also thinking so?
Yeah. 2 goals.
Okay. But you know, Monday is the big one here in Accra.
Mali.
Yes.
Yeah, Mali too. They go chop too. They go chop too.
Them two go chop.
They go chop too.
So it means we are going to the World Cup. We are qualifying for the World Cup.
We're going straight.
Okay.
We're
US,
going straight.
Canada, Mexico.
Yes.
Baby, if it be Mexico, we go pass the border.
Okay.
If it be Canada, we go take visa go.
All right.
You understand?
Agree.
You know the ticket prices are out, right? For the Ghana Mali match.
Exactly. VVIP is 1,000.
Yes, 1,000.
But there's 30 Ghana for popular stand.
Yes.
Is that where you want?
So there's 30 Ghana. That's where the Jama is. You know, if you like Jama, I love Jama. I have always loved Jama. If you love Jama, you have no business going to the VIP.
Hey, so
the popular stand, 30 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
That's where the fire is. That's where the power flows from. So anyway, we wish the Black Stars all the best today.
That's true.
Yeah.
Full vim, and let's support them on social media everywhere. And even though they are out there, they see our messages. They know we're supporting them. So let's take a moment to hashtag Black Stars today ahead of the game. Welcome to the show. It's a Thursday. We're back here.
Yes.
We're back again.
We have cash outs.
Yes.
Star 439. How much are we giving today?
16,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
Going out to 8 people. 16,000.
So people will get money whilst they watch the match.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So please make sure you're dialing star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Please start playing now. Now.
The time is now.
Now, we used to just dish out sound before the big issue.
Yes.
You want to try one today?
Yeah.
Yes. But you do that sometimes.
Once in a while.
we could.
That's what I'm saying. So today is that once in a while.
For early birds.
Yes, today is that once in a while.
I agree.
So before the big issue, now we'll dish out the first 2,000 Ghana cedis and let's look into some of
I think today I'll play.
Yeah, you should play. 2,000 Ghana cedis, star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Option 2 is what you must choose. Follow the rest of the beautiful, friendly prompts and you're winning 2,000 Ghana cedis this
You remember Michael Berfi?
Yes.
New job in South.
Missy.
Has he resigned?
Not yet.
Fantastic.
That's the question I want to ask
He has
you this
apologized. He says he took that comment too far.
He apologized?
He took it too far.
So,
did you see?
when did he apologize?
He won't do that again.
The way in which he was talking.
He won't do it again.
No, but listen, but Tanko Computer says that we should hold them accountable. If we don't do that, people
and Dr. Zato also says
yes, people will not take politicians
Dr. Zato.
seriously.
Yesterday, what did Dr. Zato say on big
He said
issues?
that the people voted because of the developmental options they had that they would get from government. That's why, even though a week before he was here, very optimistic, saying that the MPP will win.
The MPP was going to win.
Even Richard Anyagba. Good morning to Richard Anyagba. Great guy. Communicates for the MPP.
Your best
Even
friend.
though that position, of course, was taken over by Dennis Miracles Abuaje. But at the end of the day, he also said they would win. They didn't win, and he said it's because Musa Dankwa went around communicating the outcome of his polls and so influenced people. I think we need to look at the segment
Masa,
of the
it's been like that from the days of Benefsin, so we are used to it. Yeah. So
Musa Dankwa has been invited by young people to predict betting.
Exactly.
So because so far his outcomes, his outcomes have been on point.
What are the odds? Anyway, so rife also on the streets of Ghana, everywhere in every corner, is the apology by the Nurses and Midwives Association. Yes, to the Minister of Health, Honorable Minta Akando. They've apologized for calling him a farmer. But he says he's not offended. Yes. He's a farmer. And sometime back, which year did he even quote? He was part of the 5 best farmers here in Ghana. Yeah. He's got many acreages of farms. So he's I mean, it's not an insult to him. But anyway, he's accepted the apology. Yes. So what was the question that we want to ask?
But, it brings to the fore the premium we put on farming in this country. Governments, successive governments have invited young people to, be interested in farming. Yeah. And farming should not be looked at as an inferior occupation.
And someone, just in recent times, I think it was a minister or somebody who said we should stop using weeding as punishment for students. It deters them from farming. Yeah. Because it's given to you as punishment, you think that, this thing, it's too difficult, you don't want to do it.
Yeah, or it's something you do when something is wrong.
Exactly, as a Brabo and Koya, then you resort to farming. But that's what it was Julius Debra who said that, right? Yeah. So I don't think that you have a point. Yeah, you have a point. You have a point.
So I guess that's what we should talk about.
We should.
This apology from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association to the Health Minister, Honorable Kwabena Minka Akando, apologizing for calling him a farmer in the issues after the alleged attack on a nurse at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. Now, this morning, let's talk about farming. Let's talk about the premium we put on farming and the fact that over the years, we've been trying to get young people to be interested in farming and see the prospects that lie for young people in farming. Some of our very good friends, Koja Koto Boateng is one of the people who advocates for farming among young people on social media. He's doing amazingly well. He has very lovely farms. I had the privilege of seeing his farm about 2 or 3 weekends ago. I went to a farm called Albert Haven, a very nice
the name
farm
of the farm
in Assesseso. I went camping with my kids there. Very nice place. And Koja Koto Boateng, shouts to you this morning. So we'll be talking about that this morning.
So what you make of the apology from the GNRMA and then the
our general
we
perception about
on
farming in this country. That'll be our topic for this morning. And yes, also on the show today, we have some exclusives for you, a conversation between Joseph Akable and Justice Remsai, still on matters arising from the removal of our former Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokonu. There's also more matters arising from there. She's gone back to the ECOWAS court asking for some reliefs, judgments in default of defense against the Republic of Ghana. Well, we're going to be going into that during big issues. But now, let us talk about that apology from the Ghana Registered Nurses Association and Midwives Association to the Health Minister. It's time for This Morning. All right, you're welcome back. You're watching TV3 New Day. It's time for This Morning, and we're talking about that apology which the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association have issued to the Health Minister, and his subsequent response that he has absolutely no problem. He's actually quite all right. So this is the release from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, and it reads, the leadership of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association today called on the Minister for Health, Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando, to render an unqualified apology for the recent media attack on his person. They also disclosed key issues aimed at strengthening the working relationship between the nurses and the government. The minister graciously accepted the apology and encouraged the association to prioritize dialogue and constructive engagement with the government. He reiterated his commitment to fostering a strong partnership with healthcare professionals to improve healthcare delivery nationwide. Highlighting some achievements of the current administration, Honorable Akando noted the government has made significant strides, including the integration of 13,500 nurses into the government's payroll and establishment of the Ghana Medical Trading Fund and the retooling of various government facilities. He also mentioned the payment of arrears on nursing training allowances and national health insurance claims, as well as, all right, can't see the rest of it from here, but yeah, quickly if you could.
It's a very long one.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a first call on the line, by the way. Let me take that and we'll continue. How did you know that? That's not him. I miss him, though. He sent me a text yesterday. Alaji,
is that Alaji, though?
You should call. No, I don't think it's Alaji. Okay. Hello, good morning.
I was doing cash out.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yes, who's speaking?
My name is Chibafo.
Chibafo.
I'm Chibafo, yeah.
Okay, where are you calling from?
Akwitia.
I'm calling from the Upper West region. I'm currently in TV.
Okay. Chibafo, speak to us.
All right. So I'm just watching the morning show. Good morning, once again to your cherished viewers and all the people around in Ghana. I was just watching the morning show as I was speaking, and I heard you discussing about the General Secretary of the Ghana Nurses and made a comment about calling the minister a farmer. You know, that is where this all starts from. Why would a person who is holding a very high prestigious position like this would use a natural occupation that began right from the creation of the earth as an insult to someone? Then probably we should begin to know that there is a problem in terms of what are we doing while we are looking down on a particular profession. Because I don't think anybody is going to insult anybody by calling him a businessman. So this is to tell us that we should wake up, because if you go to the advanced countries, farmers we know are the biggest people and the richest people in there. And whatever they are doing out there is part of how the activities are pushing the economy.
Okay.
So all that I'm trying to say is, for the agri ministry should take this seriously.
Okay.
So that the rest of us who wants to come into farming, and also I comment Honorable Julozada for that, because seriously, that is cool.
All right.
When you read,
Point well made. Chiba, for your submission was rather long. Please, when you call us, do keep it snappy so other people can also call. Prince Henry from Koforidua. Hey, Charlie, this message is long, Papa.
So you should read it.
Yeah, it's so long.
What's it about?
Well, starts by saying a concerned constituent of the New Drummond constituency, that's Prince
Henry,
calling for the immediate resignation of my MP. Of my MP, Michael Befi, following his unwarranted
Prince Henry
statement on national TV. My MP declared vehemently to resign from his position as an MP if his party loses the Akwitia by-election. So all in all, PHK is asking or calling for the resignation
of Michael
Befi.
It's not going to happen, though.
All right, Ken Rack also says, good morning, my lovely presenters of TV3. Cookie, it's good and nice they have apologized, and the minister with his good heart has accepted. The minister gained my respect for his good heart on the job. What we just want is that our noble nurses must act professionally and follow their ethical principles to serve the good people of Ghana. We cherish what they do, but they should do it more. Anyway, another call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Bryce. I'm calling from Ho.
From Ho?
Yes.
Bryce, Afonama. Good stuff. Yes, we're all good here. Talk to us.
Great. Yeah, a very good morning to you all and cherished viewers. Actually, what the minister has accepted is very good. You know, some of us are into great farming, and we also have the degree and master's degree. But that doesn't mean that you insult farmers as if they are illiterate or illiterate are the ones who have to go into farming. And the one in charge of the health ministry or the health director, the gentleman has been eating. What actually has he been eating? Has he been eating from the practices he's making? It's from food. And the food he's eating is from fishes. So why must he denigrate or insult those who actually feed him? If he has not eaten, he will not also wake up early and come and work for us. So actually, it's very good, and we have accepted whatever we have said to the minister.
Points
and
well
we want
made.
Ghana today in a good shape, so we thank him.
Ayo.
And God bless Ghana.
Points well made. Akpesia, have a great day. Thank you so much for calling. Really, you want to get into messages?
I have a couple of messages. This one is coming from Zealous Dwayne, who's watching us from the UK.
I
Says
haven't heard
that
from him in a while.
yeah, he's great. He's a Liverpool fan, you know. So when his team is winning, he's always excited. Doesn't send a lot of messages. Zealous Dwayne, UK. Good morning. He says in other jurisdictions, all the leaders of this association, Ghana registered nurses, midwifery, would have resigned and blocked. But here we are. John Mohammed's research only half-baked. He should do it fully and bring discipline. Mejina Kwesi, good morning to you, Mejina.
Hi, Mejina.
Has a long one as well. He says that I want to begin by saying that what we witnessed with the leadership of the nurses and midwives having to apologize to the Minister of Health is a reminder that in building our country, attacks, insults, and needless confrontations do not move us forward. They only distract us from the real issues. Also watching us and from Accra is Neo Dignia to Kwekwe. We should all start small with backyard farming in our homes instead of tiling all the compounds that we live in. This could cultivate the habit of farming by young children at home as they see same as school. Very interesting point there. Watching us from Albany, New York, Kwesi Mensa says that I'm watching you live from the state of New York. Albany is my city. Kindly wish the good people of Cape Coast for me as the city is celebrating is Ogwa Fetua Fashe.
Anyway, Mensa Majid says, a very big congratulations to lawyer Bernard Bediakon, MP-elect, and the good people of Akotia. Now, Honorable Michael Otrebefi, MP for New Drapping, should respect his constituents and himself by honoring the promise he made. Since the NPP candidate did not win, we're all waiting for his resignation. For the sake of his integrity and in recognition of the respect Ghanaians have for him, he should kindly do the needful by submitting his resignation letter to the Speaker by close of day.
Well, we'll see about that. Let's go back to the phone lines. We have, who's joining us, please? What's your name? William?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, William. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Let us know, what are your thoughts on this apology?
Yes, I have a very simple message. I say shame on them. Shame on them. They were trying to play politics and they were exposed big time. So shame on them. Yes, and then please, we want more of the live bands in the morning. So if you could include that in the morning sessions, we'll be happy.
The live band videos, I think the sessions.
Live band?
Yeah, the live band. We have some recordings that we play sometimes.
Okay. So you want us to play more live band
in the
videos in the morning? Okay, thank you. We'll do that, and we'll accompany that with some live dancing as well with Roland in the studio.
Led by Rolly.
Yeah. you can
Erickson MK says that greatness in leadership lies in reflection and self-examination and introspection. Kudos to the leadership of the nurses and midwives. Turning on a new leaf is the right way. Like Jesus admonished the adulterous woman in John 8:11. They should go and sin no more. Last one. Prince Henry Kofodia, Prince Nania York in the UK says, we are tired of apologies and being forgiven so easily. They need to be punished. Gardens in a house is the way to go. That is the best way for all of us. I'm saying good morning to Alhaji Jibril of National Security Base in Tema as well, the Managing Director of the Tema Oil Refinery, Edmond Combat, and your Deputy, Alhaji Mustafa as well.
Matilda of By Faith Catering as well. Good morning, special good morning to you. It's been some time. I hope that you're doing well. And to all our friends in the Northern region, Savannah, everywhere, Good morning to you. Now, Irakwa Ayape Richard says the Nurses Association's apology to Mr. Minka Akando shows accountability and humility and respect for the people of Ghana. This is what leadership looks like. The NPP must learn from this. Instead of excuses and empty promises, Ghana needs consistency, patriotism, and real delivery, whether in health, roads, or farming. That is why Ghanaians chose the NDC. Isaac Agbamenu says, I'm pleading with the Speaker of Parliament to quickly drag the MP, Mr. Befi, to the Privileges Committee to ask him to resign and apologize to the general public for such unguarded comments. Bernard Blow says, Zachariah from Techiman. Hello, Zachariah. Zach for short. Hello, Zach.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Greetings to us here, to the people of Techiman. From us to the people of Techiman.
Oh, they are fine here.
Good stuff. Speak to us.
And you are doing a good job. And I like the way when it's 1, 2, 3, you add in race. I like it. It's okay. God bless you with all.
Did you catch that? You like the way what?
Yeah, my point is, the association tried to act professional, but they should have done it early stage. When this issue come up, and it's not by this time they'll be randomly coming up for apology to our minister. And that one there, they are red lights, they have red flag this time. And kudos to Minister. He has done a very great job. He didn't mind, he didn't react like when they told him he's a farmer, something like that. He didn't mind them focusing the issue, trying to solve everything. And God bless you for accepting the apology this morning.
All right.
And good day. As we have a new day in TV3. God bless you, Media General.
Bless you too.
Bye-bye.
Bless you and thank you for calling us. I'm told Johnny is ready, guys. Let's cross over.
Yeah.
Your nail. That's why I get excited when the children tell me that they want Johnny's bite. I'm interested in the next generation because I think that the way things are going, if we do not play the ball the way it has to be played, we will get to a point where we'll be scoring own goals. And I don't want us to be scoring own goals when the future finally comes, because we will be competing on a global scale. And if we're competing on a global scale, and for example, in the 21st century, we still have schools that are studying under trees and they are studying ICT and they do not have electricity, it's a big problem for me, because the children in China, the children in Japan, the children in the US, the children in Canada, the children in the UK, the children in France, the children in Germany, the children in other places are all learning ICT and now advancing towards AI learning, etc. They are doing so because they have the resources, they have the machines, they have electricity that will help us to deal. In our case, in some of the schools, they don't even have a proper classroom, talk less of a computer or, if you like, electricity. And for me, those are the things that take center stage. Let me say thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale for my outfit this morning. 0246 590 162. That's 0246 590 162. Sonar Fashions is in Tamale, and there was also something special for you, something that will make you look very regal and royal, like I look this morning. Purple and violets are royal, and they blended as nicely together, and I'm loving it all the way together. Also, a very good morning to Mrs. Jocelyn Bano. Mrs. Jocelyn Bano, you live in the UK with your husband, Nikwa Kupom, and I want to say good morning to you, Mrs. Jocelyn Bano. Good morning to you. You were in Ghana some time ago for a birthday party. Now, sisters, let's begin from the quarters of the Free Zones Authority. Yesterday, we showed a video. Please find the video from yesterday's folder. There's a statement that they put out there, but I want you to pay attention to the video. And then we'll come to the statement that's been issued by the Free Zones Authority regarding the video that we showed you yesterday of 2 20-footer containers on a truck that had not been properly fastened, and it was almost a death trap. Listen, this citizen vigilantism.
Che. Wait, now na money yato so no free. Adenya. On my woman. Look. The beer who carry nothing. Doctrine they who carry doctrine.
Oh, boss, I'll be ready. I'm gonna share the show.
This is a long vehicle. We just found on free zones. I was very much surprised to see that even at the toll booths, the free zone security couldn't notice this. This is a death trap. It's a total death trap, and this could cause an accident. And we are going to aim it at the devil. How can this be allowed? Come and see. Come. Bring the camera. This truck driver knows that the lockers are not working from this car, but he has changed the container. The whole container. Look at the weight of a container and that of a dog chain. Is this possible? This is a totally death trap. And I'm calling on free zones. Free zones. This is bad. It's not, you people are not there to take just money. Remember, you are there for the safety of the people. This is so bad. This is a truck driver having a car. Look at the container on the car right now. He has two containers. One is totally down. And it's a death trap. I think it's some of the things the IGP together with the taking care of. Okay. Can you take a whole container with a dog chain? No, come on. It's a deliberate action.
Now, please find me in a statement. So this is what transpired. We saw this video and we decided that we had to put it out because this, I'm not sure, will be the first, not within the free zones enclave, by the way. But I'm sure that driving around town, you would have found a lot of these things. Please find me the statement. You would have found a lot of these things happening. So on the 2nd of September 2025, Free Zones Authority issued this statement. It says, Ghana Free Zones Authority addresses viral video on improperly secured truck. The attention of the Free Zones Authority, GFZA, has been drawn to a viral video circulating on social media involving a truck that was improperly secured. While entering the Tema Free Zones enclave, some vigilant citizens intercepted the truck to prevent potential harm and subsequently posted it online. The authority wishes to state that a truck with registration number GN 927412 carrying two 20-footer empty containers destined to Krishna Exports Limited, located at the Tema Export Processing Zone, was intercepted by some vigilant citizens at about 11:30 a.m. this morning. The citizens visited the Ghana Fire Service office located at the TEPZ and reported the incident. Immediately, officers of the Ghana Fire Service and officers of the Ghana Free Zones Authority were on site and engaged a forklift operator to reposition the tilted container and secure it on the truck. After resolving the issue, the truck left to the destined company by 3:30 p.m. So note the time code, 11:30, 3:30 p.m. The authority wishes to assure management of companies located in the enclave, their employees and the general public that the Tema Free Zones enclave is under constant security surveillance. Unfortunately, in this particular instance, the lapse was not detected at the point of entry by security personnel. We deeply regret this oversight and commend the vigilance of the concerned citizens whose intervention averted what could have been a serious incident. Immediate steps have been taken to engage the company, and appropriate action will be pursued in line with the authorities' rules and regulations. In addition, monitoring measures will be intensified and security checks strengthened to ensure that such an incident does not occur or recur. The authority takes this opportunity to strongly caution all companies operating within the enclave to strictly adhere to safety procedures when moving containers and cargo in and out of the enclave. Non-compliance will attract sanctions. The GFZA remains committed to upholding the high standards of safety, security, and compliance within all its enclaves nationwide. Thank you. Let's see who signed the letter, please. There's a doctor who signed the letter. Ghana Free Zones Authority. Between you and I, and from a PR point of view and as a PR practitioner, we know that this statement is almost empty. I'm saying that between you and I, and as a PR practitioner, we know that this statement is almost empty. It is almost empty to the fact that the gentleman in the video say that this had gone past a certain checkpoint. And they actually made allegations that the hooks on the thing were not functional. We all saw the video. Which of your staff is complicit in this public danger? And what has happened to those staff members? Have you liaised with the police to find the driver and deal with the driver, to even check if the driver has the requisite capacity? Have you liaised with the DVLA? What punitive measures have been put in place to ensure that this does not happen again, beyond telling that as that you uphold standards and da. I'm sure that you could do better, because this statement, as I mentioned, is almost empty. If the two gentlemen who saw this as citizen vigilantes had not seen this and this had gone onto the road, somebody could have died. Somebody could have died. Somebody could have died. So it is not about writing English respectfully and telling us that, oh, going forward, if they come and they... I'm not sure this is the first time. This has been caught on camera. And this goes to our friends at the Temaport and all those places. I mean, what is this? What is this? What really is this? Dog chain? They went past the security. The security did not see this. Were they sleeping on the job or struggling to stay awake? No, I'm asking, were they sleeping on the job or struggling to stay awake? Safety issues in this country must be taken very... Health and safety. The health people, some are misbehaving. Safety people too, some are misbehaving. The health people, some are misbehaving. Safety people, some are misbehaving. We always talk about security, but health and safety, we throw it to the dogs. Just look at it. If he had not been stopped, he was still driving. Look at it. Then you write such English to come and tell us that you uphold standards and da. They went past your post. It could have killed people. So the security at the post, whether they are private security or security that you employed, the supervisors at those places who are on your payroll, what has happened to them? That is what we want to know as taxpayers. You should be telling us. And not to be writing such English and be telling us that you uphold standards and going forward, anybody who doesn't go by the standards, sanctions will apply. And all. This has happened. They didn't go by the standard. What sanctions are we applying? You should be telling us. You should be telling us that when you found out this, you handed over the gentleman to the police for further investigations. Because you are not an investigative body. So you handed over the driver to the police. And you liaised with the DVLA to check if the driver actually has roadworthy certificates, if he has insurance, and if he even has the requisite license to be driving that vehicle. The statement, as I mentioned, is almost empty. Please come again. Sambre biom. Bekong kosenoba. It is not. It is not. And we cannot allow it. No. It cannot. Don't shield anybody, madam. I'm not saying you are complicit. No. And I appreciate the fact that you put your name under it. Some people write statements when it gets to a critical point like this in terms of issues and crisis management, and they never put their names that they say by management. But you are bold enough to, and that's why I respect you. But I'm saying between me, from one PR person to another PR person, this statement is almost empty. Health and safety. And I hope you don't mark me too. Health and safety. So free zones, please come again, I beg you. Come and tell the public who were on duty, what has happened to them. Come and tell us what internal sanctions you have applied. Come and tell us, please. It didn't have to take vigilante citizens to come and see this. You're paying security people to be at the checkpoint to inspect these things and make sure that they are up to standard before they move out. So we cannot sweep it under the carpet. No. No, no, no. Now take me to the Pokwase area. Yesterday, the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, was at the Pokwase area, and towards the Nsawam area, where, you know, you spoke about the roads. We talked about it. We called on the Minister for Roads, Governance Kwame Agboja, who's also Member of Parliament for the Adaklu constituency. His deputy, Alasan Suhini, Member of Parliament for Tamale North. And they connected. We understand the monies were paid to the contractor. The contractor is on the site. You can all bear witness that they are working round the clock. They are making sure that they're getting this done and dusted. The president yesterday went onto the site to go and inspect the project. Now, when the president went onto the site to inspect the project, and some people have purpose in their heart that they will still call the president Mr. Mahama. They will not call him Your Excellency or Mr. President. It's okay. It's fine. There are people who naturally don't respect, and they have grown with it. But when you go to their houses, you find that even they will tell you their uncle and grandfather and somebody was one time something secretary to somebody finished. But they themselves, their fathers, nothing for sure. But they don't respect, naturally. And they are small boys and small girls, but they will call the president Mr. Mahama. It's okay. If you are not disciplined, you always bring it out. It is not about the plenty school you attend. If you are not disciplined and you are disrespectful, it shows everywhere you go. But yesterday, the president was on the site. Now, a conversation about how much money has been spent on this came up. There's a list there. And we have spent monies on the road. And we knew, yesterday I heard the former Minister for Works, Asenso Boachi, talk about the former Deputy Chief of Staff as well, talk about the fact that, the $200 million we got from the Afrexim Bank, it was a partial funding for the project. And I said, so all along, we knew that this was partial funding for the project. All along, if that is true. We knew that there was partial funding for the project. And we kept quiet for small boys and small girls to insult the president and the minister and denigrate the new government. That they have come and they have stopped following up on a project that was being done by the previous government. We knew it was partial funding. And yet we kept quiet at the height of ingenuity. We kept quiet and kept mute for the sake of stinking politics. Now that the president says we are going to investigate to find out how the monies were spent, $200 million US. And these are all the monies that we got, completion of in Nsawam Apejo Road project, Ejisu Konongo Road project, the monies are there. The president said investigations will be done. Now we are being asked to go and refer to 2024 handed over. And I said, investigations will be done. If you have taken one peswa, you will vomit it. Please find me Mutale's video. It's about 3 or 4 weeks in that folder. If you have taken a peswa, you will vomit it. So we knew it was partial funding, and we kept quiet, creating the impression that this government is not interested. In fact, anyway, where are the 10,000 kilometers of road that we said we had constructed? And President Akufo-Addo was in Parliament asking us to open our eyes and that we'll see the road. He mentioned 10,000 plus kilometers of road. Mind you, I've had a year of roads, the second year of roads, another year of roads, and let nobody come and tell me why I'm referring to the previous government. The Afrexim Bank loan was contracted in the previous government. The 200 million cedis is gone, and the road is still not finished. This 200 million is gone. The road is not finished. Now we are being told it's partial funding. Listen to my good friend. May he rest in peace.
On the day, if you are an MP, wallahi, and you take a dime on that constituency and chop it, on the day of judgment, you will account to the people. You will. And that is one thing many politicians are not aware of. If you take a dime that belongs to the state or the constituency, on the day of judgment, you will account to every single individual who lives in that country or who lives in that constituency. Will you be able to justify this in the sight of Allah? Will you be able to do that? The challenges confronting us in this country is corruption. The challenges. I'm not a saint, but at least you do your possible best to avoid it. I don't have money. What I have, what I get is my salary. And wallahi, not a dime of Tamale Central has ever touched my tongue or bought a book for my son or my daughter. Because I know that I will account for it. And our society today, if you don't have money, you have no value in our society. The moment you are given appointment, your family thinks that their lives have changed. The moment you have a small opportunity, people think that you must provide. If you don't have, they disrespect you. And that has pushed several politicians to engage in corruption. That pushes people. And I am particularly worried. I am worried for myself as a Muslim. And I'm worried because which have I spent that I didn't need to spend? Which have I spent inadvertently or unknowingly that I shall account for it? That should be a profound worry. That should be a worry to everybody. But we don't seem to care. They don't respect you. Even your colleagues won't value you because they think that you don't have the money they have in this country. There are politicians who could not even rent a room. And then they are busy putting up skyscrapers. Haven't they been told about the death of other politicians? Haven't they been told that there are politicians who had it all and they are no more? That is something that is profound heavy on me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to play saint. Wallahi, Allah will bear me witness. Whatever I say genuinely. How would you be a leader? President Rawlings had unlimited power. He's gone. President Kufuor came, had power. He's gone. President Mills came, unfortunately by Allah's will, he's gone. President Mahama came, he's gone. Dr. Baumia came, he's going in 2024.
So this is a note of caution. If you have spent a penny, and that's why people are asking the Attorney General and the Yoko, they like what the Attorney General and the Yoko are doing, but they want more speed. Operation Recover All Loot. Anybody who has stolen from the state, please. Now, quickly, Sixtus, let me say good morning to Kwabena Mintakando, Health Minister. May God bless you for your big heart and for your emotional intelligence in the face of all the adversity. Hey, if you're a farmer, be proud of yourself. If you're a farmer, let nobody denigrate you. Be proud of yourself. If you're a farmer, be very, very proud of yourself. Let them insult you. They will come back and who I beg. Be proud of yourself if you're a farmer. No, take me to Small Arms Commission. I will not read this necessary statement. Take me to Small Arms Commission, please. Now, the Small Arms Commission has some very, very damaging information that we must all pay attention to. The Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission, please put a statement up. They're talking about Ashanti, East, Upper East and Eastern regions leading in gun violence in the second quarter open source gun incident report. As part of the mandate of the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons to curb the proliferation of illicit firearms and promote a gun violence-free country, the Commission is releasing the second quarter open source gun incident report to indicate the trend of gun violence in the country during the second quarter. This report was collated from credible media narratives, City Newsroom, Joy, Joy Online, 3news.com, etc., NAXA, the Regional Research Unit, and follow-up reports from the various regional police commands. The findings reveal critical and alarming trends that demand proactive measures to strengthen gun control in a bid to protect our citizens. Key findings: sharp increase in incidents. The second quarter of 2025 recorded 54 gun-related violent incidents. This surge highlights a growing trend of gun-related crimes, with the following regions leading: Ashanti 21, Eastern 8, and Upper East 7. Geographic spread: gun violence incidents were reported in 11 out of the 16 regions in the second quarter of 2025, compared to 15 regions in the first quarter of 2025. 5 regions did not record any gun violent incident. These 5 regions, Bono East, Savannah, Ahafo, and Upper West, must be commended and encouraged to maintain the record, while NACSA calls on the other regions to emulate their good example to ensure progress in the fight against gun violence in the country. Types of crimes: armed robbery 22, murder 9, violent clashes 8, and unlawful firearm possession 7 were the leading forms of gun violence, collectively accounting for over 85% of the cases. The data also shows a diversification in the types of gun-related crimes, including indiscriminate shooting, that's 4, celebratory shootings, that's 2, and land disputes, that's 1. Perpetrators and victims: males were predominantly involved in gun violence, both as perpetrators 100% and victims 78%. The report recorded 43 deaths and 39 of the victims being men. Identified weapons at crime scenes: out of the total of 42 weapons found at the crime scenes, majority were predominantly pump action guns, that's 20, pistols 10, and AK-47 rifles 3. How did they get that? The rising number of gun-related incidents and the types of weapons identified at crime scenes paint an alarming picture, which demands an all-inclusive approach and a robust and more effective legal framework on arms. The National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons therefore calls on all stakeholders, including the Attorney General's Department, lawmakers, and the CSOs, to support the Minister for the Interior, who has shown a lot of good faith in the process of enacting a more robust legal framework for effective arms control to facilitate a swift passage of the proposed National Arms Bill into law. That's Carl Nianyete Soa, his acting head of communications and media. And this is a strong one to all of us. Where did this culture of owning a gun and shooting at will come from? And when I talk about it, people get angry. You should not be angry, because the next dead person could be you. It could be you. Sisters, there are 2 quick things we have to do before we go. One, there's somebody who went to steal a Ghana Water Company meter. We found a video, a CCTV video. We will make you popular. Thief, Julo, Fiafito, that's him. He went to steal somebody's meter, somebody's water meter. I mean, what kind of hunger could be pushing you to go and be stealing somebody's meter? OBTV, we acknowledge you. What kind of hunger is that? Thief, Julo, Ole, Evi, Fiafito, look at it. And water gushing out. He doesn't care, he's wasting water. Look at it. Such a thief, a common thief. Look at it. Pause, let's see his face. We have to see his face so that we can help. The police are looking for him. I'm told he's around the Wager area. Thief, Julo. Anyway, now the Venerable Kwame Pianim, he has something to share. And then that's what we're wrapping up with. Mrs. Jocelyn Bano, good morning to you. You live in the UK. Auntie Kate Lai, good morning. Now he says, if we do not listen and restructure our party, the MPP will become as irrelevant to the politics of Ghana as the CPP has become now. Kwabi Pianim is a statesman and elder of the NPP. I said this many, many weeks ago. In fact, I repeated it on Monday. He's speaking my mind. I'm not as old as he is. I don't know where that inspiration came from. But listen to what he said and compare to what I've been saying. Values and principles that underpin the party and restructuring. He says, if we do not listen and restructure our party, the MPP will become as irrelevant to the politics of Ghana as the CPP has become now. Mind you, the CPP had tasted power before. The CPP is yearning to come back to power. and the CPP elements are now leaving to go and find appointments in other governments, and they are leaving to either go and do their own things, either they are on suspension, and it's a worry. And the elder statesman and elder of NPP says that if we do not listen and restructure our party, the NPP will become as irrelevant to the politics of Ghana as the CPP has become now. Stop the minimcracy. Stop the ahantan-cracy. Stop the jay-cracy. Stop the enumja-cracy. Stop all the unnecessary cracies. And stop the Ajana 1, Ajana 2. Listen and restructure. You will thank me later, even though I know you don't like me. Here ends my sermon. Please call me 055.
We asked the children, how many of you brushed this morning? And this little boy, his hand didn't go up. And I said, well, why didn't you brush this morning? He said, my brother was using the toothbrush. If I'd waited for him, I would have been late for school. I'm sorry.
And you're welcome back. You're watching TV3 New Day. It's time for big issues, and this is where we discuss the major headlines, things that you should know about, and we are interactive. And so we invite you to be a part of this conversation with the hashtag TV3 New Day. You can connect with us online, on X, on Facebook, and across platforms. And more popularly, under our Facebook live stream, you can leave your comments, and I'll read as many of them as possible before we wrap up the discussion. Today, we might have to bring you a shorter version of big issues today. We'll be able to discuss only one of the two issues we otherwise would have tabled, because we have an exclusive interview to share with you. An interview with my colleague, Joseph Akable, in conversations with Justice Sremsai regarding matters arising from the removal of the former Chief Justice, Gertrude Torkornoo. And that's actually the main issue we're going to be discussing today on the show. So we know that the former Chief Justice, Gertrude Torkornoo, has been removed following a committee's report to the president, which he was bound by. Now, yesterday we had news that the former Chief Justice had gone back to the ECOWAS court seeking judgment in default of defense against the Republic. Now, Justice Sremsai has been speaking about this, some of the issues he raised to explain why the Republic has not properly filed a defense in the matter is the fact that they had raised an issue of the jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter in the first place, the jurisdiction of the ECOWAS court to hear the matter in the first place. And so these are issues we're going to go into properly on the show this morning. And joining us on the show today, we have some of our very esteemed legal brains joining us to explain some of the issues to us, and also some of our usual panelists on the show who help us understand the various aspects of the issues. The law on one side, human interest on the other side, public interest on the other side, the politics of it, and so on. But before that, if you haven't cashed out this morning, please do so. Dial *439# on your MTN or Telecel, *439#. That's the number to dial, *439# this morning, and you could win 2,000 Ghana cedis. I have 16,000 cedis. I'm giving it to 8 of you today. 8 of you. All right, 2,000 Ghana cedis each. And so dial now and win big on the show. All right. In studio, joining us in studio this morning is Susan Amankwa. She's
Amankwa,
Mrs. Susan Edu Amankwa. She's a communications team member of the Movement for Change. Good morning.
I'm not.
Not?
I'm not.
Please correct me.
Yes, severally. I'm here on behalf of the National Interest Movement.
All right.
Yes.
She's the former vice chair of the Convention People's Party.
Yes. But the current...
The National Interest Movement is Convention People's Party. They are all from CPP.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Please, National Interest Movement is a CSO.
National Interest Movement.
It's a political CSO.
All right.
And one of the things that we've been advocating is constitutional change.
All right.
And of course, they are doing the constitutional review, so we've made input into it. And
okay.
And who are some of the things. Why? Yeah, come to me. I'm a member. That's what is important.
Are you advocating for anything in respect of the removal of, or the way the removal of a justice of the Superior Court should be done?
Not initially as one of the things that we, was part of the things that we had discussed and sort of presented severally. That was not it, because it was not a burning issue. And of course, we had not tried that law except with, of course, Charlotte Osei, but it was not really an issue, a burning issue. And of course, like anything, the Constitution is a living document, and when things happen, then you can view them and say these have to change. And so there were a lot of things that we advocated for, and one of it is the extreme power of the president, to do things. And this may fall under that some of the powers of a president make him too powerful, and maybe the removal of a CJ should not come under that of a president.
Yeah.
So, you know, in all things,
Except
that we
the
would
removal
have
of the CJ was not by the president, so to speak.
By the president.
Well,
yes.
You can look at it that way, but you can also look at it in a different way and say that ultimately it comes to his doorstep, and it sort of backstops with him.
But it's not his to do.
No.
It's not his.
There's a process.
No, it's not. There's a process.
Yes.
We understand that there's a process, and you want in the letter of it that there's a process, but there are several things in a process that play out, the nuances in that process where it could have been stopped somewhere or whatever. So if you say that totally removed from it, then I wouldn't agree with you that he's just an innocent bystander and the thing comes to him and all he is doing is pronouncing the verdict.
I haven't even introduced Nanaya yet, but we've sort of gotten into the conversation. You think you agree with the people who believe that he actually plays an active role in the removal, or he played an active role in the removal? That he actually did X, Y, or Z?
Well, I mean, the petition goes to him, initially looks at it, whatever, and decides whether to move on ahead with it or not move on ahead with it. You understand? At least somewhere in the process, he's an active participant. So you can choose to say, oh, no. I mean, he's not an active participant. It depends on what side. I mean, it could be a 6 on one side, it could be a 9 on the other side, and people are looking at it. So depending on where you sit.
Yeah, it would appear from the Article 146 of the Constitution, it will appear that the process is laid out, the process for removing a justice of the Superior Court is laid out, and it doesn't appear to suggest that the president actually has a say in whether or not she's removed.
You see, that's what I said, that nothing untoward has been done.
Okay.
Nothing untoward. And I think that it has been repeated ad nauseum that nothing untoward has been done, okay? And that we have gone strictly by, you know, the
dictates of the Constitution.
The dictates of the Constitution. So nobody, I mean, all those who are jumping up and down and saying that things are not fair, they haven't been able to point to something substantial to say that this has been untoward and this is not right or this has been unfair. But we also know that even in a process that nothing untoward has happened, it's still a human institution where things may flow in a certain way even if nothing untoward has happened.
Okay.
You get it. So we cannot say that the president does not have powers somewhere along the line, you know, to ensure that this process does not happen the way it's happened. And that is why in your constitutional reform, you have to think about it carefully and look at what can happen, not just in the processes, but in a certain spirit.
Okay.
That doesn't allow any president to wield the power brutally or inappropriately. You get it?
Arbitrarily.
Yes, arbitrarily.
Okay.
So that is what it should be.
Okay.
Like we said, there are so many powers that we believe that the president does not necessarily need to have.
Yeah. Okay.
And
this is one of the things that you think needs looking at. Let me bring Nanaya into the conversation. Nanaya, good morning. Nanaya Achimpim Jantwa is a presidential staffer.
And former General Secretary of CPP.
And former General Secretary of the CPP.
Very important.
And a very big contributor to this show on TV3NewDay. Good morning, Nanaya.
Good morning.
Great to have you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, welcome to the show. I was just about to introduce you when we just dovetailed into the conversation.
Susan
Papa.
just went
prematurely.
No, she pushed that conversation.
Did you?
Yes.
She
started off with NIM.
National Interest Movement.
Yes.
Exactly. That's how it started.
She couldn't tell us the members.
You wanted to tell us who the members are. Auntie Rodlin is a member. Yes, Rodlin Imorayana.
No, but she wants me to mention the member so that she can jump up and down and say, oh, but I know this person and the person used to be in CPP. We have a wide membership and they don't necessarily
But they are
CPP.
majority CPP.
No, they are not. They are ordinary Ghanaians who, if I mention their name, she doesn't know them. So why? Does she know Kojo Mensah or Does she know Kojo Mensah? Does she know Adjo
All right, Nanaya. Okay, you're welcome to the show. Do you want to take a bite of what she said, or can we go straight into our conversation for the morning?
What did she say?
Or just her reference to the powers that the president wields as contained in the Constitution and whether or not they should be reviewed.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. That's why we have a constitutional review. It's a commission or committee. And
committee.
Yes, the proposals they bring before the proposals Ghanaians will take before them will determine what the end game will be. But also after this process, I believe there's going to be a referendum. The referendum to determine whether these changes are acceptable or not acceptable. So at that point, then we would all know what to say about the powers that is wielded by the president.
Okay.
So then, and I believe there are other things in the Constitution that have to be looked at.
Okay.
Then we will also decide everything else. But coming to this one, you see, when I hear that the arguments people are making, it makes me wonder, do we even respect the committee members?
In respect of the removal of the Chief Justice?
Yes, that's what we are discussing.
We haven't gotten into it yet.
So which one are we discussing?
So I just wanted to know if you had a bite. You wanted to take a bite at her earlier submission on the things that ought to be looked at again in the Constitution. Let me introduce our third guest, and then we'll get into the matter.
But I thought today we should. You don't have much time.
Yes. So let me introduce our third guest.
We don't have to talk about peripherals. Right?
Very well. Very well.
Yes,
all right. So we've been joined on Zoom by lawyer Austin Kwabena Bracco Powers. He's a private legal practitioner. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. All right. We're going to get him back on the line, but are you with us?
Yes, now, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right. I want us to just delve straight into the discussion for this morning. We're hoping you can, being a lawyer, you're in a better position to give us some context with regards to the reliefs that the Chief Justice is seeking now. So we know she had previously gone to the ECOWAS court, the former Chief Justice, I beg your pardon. We know that she had previously gone to the ECOWAS court seeking certain reliefs, including damages of about $10 million and seeking some reliefs with regards to some human rights violations, as she claimed. Now, she's back in court seeking a judgment in default of defense and against the Republic, and the Deputy Attorney General has also stated that the reason the Republic has not filed a defense is because they have previously challenged the jurisdiction of the ECOWAS court to hear the matter at all. Can you explain to us in simple terms exactly what is happening now?
Yes, I think now you well captured the legal procedures so far. And as you were articulated, the government of Ghana has, as of today, been unable to file their defense. And the jurisprudence of the ECOWAS court is that if you're unable to file your defense after a period of time, and even when you have been pressed upon to do so, they will go ahead and listen to the substance of the action before them. But there are a string of cases where they have done so, where sovereign countries have refused to enter or have refused to file their defense, and the ECOWAS court has gone ahead to hear the matter and even enter judgment on behalf of the plaintiffs. So I think clearly the Chief Justice is challenging the manner in which the committee conducted its work. And she's raising issues of human rights violations, which are well within the jurisdiction of the ECOWAS court. In fact, as I noted earlier, there have been a plethora of cases where, even though the Attorney General is challenging the jurisdiction of the court by reason of the fact that the matter is before the domestic court. In other words, the matter is before the Supreme Court, which is a domestic court. When we talk about the ECOWAS, it's a domestic court. So the matter is before the domestic court. By reason of that, the ECOWAS court should not assume jurisdiction over that. I think this is not a sound argument. If you are well aware of the jurisprudence of the ECOWAS court, you know that where a plaintiff raises issues with regard to human rights violations as against the African, we have the African Human Rights and People's Rights, African Charter on Human Rights and People's, and African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Exactly. It's clear, and it gives a jurisdiction to the ECOWAS court to hear the moment, in fact, their jurisdiction is invoked the moment the plaintiff or a plaintiff raises issues with regard to human rights violations. So the argument of the Attorney General that the matter is already before a competent domestic court is not a sound argument that should warrant the ECOWAS court to dismiss the action. So the action is within the right of the powers of within the jurisdiction of the court, and they will go ahead. And as noted in later somewhere in July, that they are ready to they were going to give judgment with regard to some interim reliefs. You will notice that the former Chief Justice had asked for some interim reliefs, pending which would, just to stop the committee. And already we know the committee had concluded its work and made its recommendation. So we don't know what the interim reliefs will be, whether it will even be okay or whether it will even help the suspended Chief Justice. But by and large, I think the substance of the matter is weightier, and that is what I'm looking forward to the ECOWAS court either entering judgment on behalf of the suspended Chief Justice or otherwise. But it is within the jurisdiction
of the court to hear same. All right, but when she brought this matter before the ECOWAS court, she was merely suspended. Now she has been removed. What would the subsequent decision, if the ECOWAS court decides in her favor, what would it mean for this removal that has taken place?
So you would realize that the thing is that the action in one part has changed. The action itself in one part has changed because now she's been removed by a warrant issued by the president. But let's not lose sight of the fact that she's seeking some compensation. She's seeking compensation as well as some declarations. So in those realms, she will succeed. When she succeeds, it will serve her well, particularly in the area of the compensation and the declaratory relief.
The $10 million, the $10 million in damages which she claimed is possible to succeed.
No, that's saying that it depends on how good and grounded her case is before the ECOWAS court.
Okay.
Because I'm not in the position, and the thing is that don't forget that the fact that the Attorney General has refused to enter they have refused to file their defense does not mean ECOWAS court will not interrogate the suit before them. They will interrogate it as to whether or not it is sound and deserving of their decision or weight. And it is not a foregone conclusion that because the case is still pending and because the Attorney General has not filed their defense, by reason of that, the court will enter judgment for the dismissed Chief Justice. No, that's not the case. So the ECOWAS court will not have to weigh the action, the way the pleadings thus far filed by the dismissed Chief Justice and determine if it is sound and indeed her rights have been abused or human rights have been violated. If they're able to arrive at that conclusion, then it makes sense that the compensation that the Chief Justice, damages that she is seeking, would be entered on their behalf, and also some declaratory reliefs will be made just to make sure that at least, and it doesn't matter if she's been sacked. So when there are declaratory reliefs or when the ECOWAS court makes some certain declaration that favors certain declarations that favor her, that means it will not be of any consequential or will not be of any consequential benefit. I think that's not the argument. The argument is that even if she succeeds on some declaratory reliefs, it is for us to know what the position of the court had been. That is, if the court is able to establish that indeed her rights, a human right, has been violated, that in itself helps us as a sovereign nation to rework our laws to make sure that we tighten some of the loopholes. Because I have maintained that, now, if ever there is one area where our constitution is fundamentally weak, it is in the area of procedural protection of judicial independence. And the idea is that the requirement of judicial independence presupposes independence from politics, and in other words, from the executive power.
Okay.
And that's one thing we have been unable to do by reason of the position of our constitution. It's very weak in that area, and we need to tighten.
So we look at it. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you in a moment. So don't leave us. Well, let me come in studio and come back to you, Nanaya. You started talking before I went to the lawyer there. You've heard his explanation of the process, and we know what has happened. The Chief Justice has been removed. The current Deputy Attorney General says, well, we didn't file a defense because the court had no jurisdiction to hear the matter in the first place, and so that's also being determined. How does all of this strike you?
Shoko, thank you very much. You remember when we were speaking behind the scenes, I talked about jurisdiction. I do not think that ECOWAS has, as it stands as a body, that we are not united in everything that we do. Remember, we have to have the ECO, one currency, and all that. So they don't have jurisdiction. And now the Attorney General has confirmed it. This is a sovereign nation, Ghana. And we have gone through our constitutional processes to remove the Chief Justice. We did not go there. Supreme law of the land is the Constitution. We did not go against the Constitution. Procedurally, we went through line by line. So I do not know why the former Chief Justice or her assigns. I am a bit surprised looking at the television. It looked as if all the people who are defending her are MPP. She should have brought some neutrality into her defense. So that.
How does that affect the matter?
I am just saying that, there was this impression that she's for the government at the time.
You're talking about the optics.
The optics. So she should have brought some neutrality around her. She's a lawyer. There are lots of lawyers who could have defended her. There are lots of female lawyers who could have come together as a team to defend her. But you saw clearly that she made it partisan. It didn't do anything to the process, though. But on the sidelines, I believe that the optics didn't look good. Did you get me? But it's got nothing to do with anything, because if she has been accused variously of towing the line of the previous government, and now there is a matter that has to be looked into, and the people who are with you and talking, if I were her, I would have told the MPP to keep quiet, and that this is my matter, not their matter. But she shows so much vulnerability that at that point, as if she wanted to lean on somebody. And that is my problem with Justice Tokun. She came across as a weakling, but she is not.
She showed too much vulnerability?
Yes, too much vulnerability.
How did she do that?
Yeah, because the way she was just going up and down, doing press conferences, I think she was desperate.
She had one press conference.
But it was still a press conference. For what reason? She went to the ECOWAS court, the Commonwealth Bar Association, which has no jurisdiction over us, wrote to Ghana, a sovereign state. I mean, that was even an insult. That for her to even go there and invoke that action on this nation was an insult. That the Bar Association of the Commonwealth can come to us and say that don't do ABCD. How? I didn't want to comment on it because it was very, very, I don't want to use the word, but it didn't make sense. And that's smug desperation. Going all over the place trying to get support. Go through the process. And for me, if anybody mentions the president's name, yes, he's the final arbiter. But then it means you're insulting the lawyers, the judges who sat on the matter. You are trying to say that they are not independent enough, they are not credible enough, and that they are pushovers. And these are members of the judiciary. These are members of academia. Professor Gisa taught me, a very credible person. Then now you are Domlevo. Domlevo, when he was sacked, he took it to court. The court acquitted and discharged him that it was a wrong move, and they asked that he should be given compensation, and he even said no. They even wanted to reinstate. He said it's okay. So what is this Justice Tokono? What is she doing? Everybody like Sophia Akufu. Yesterday I saw her, Justice Sophia Akufu.
Yeah, she spoke extensively about...
Yeah, I saw her on TV. She looks... My mother, she looks beautiful.
She does.
The Council of State is doing well for her. She looked marvelous yesterday.
As always has.
Oh, please,
as she always has.
Yesterday, she looked exceptionally beautiful.
Okay.
I saw her. I was like, wow.
And I'm glad you mentioned her, and Susan, I'm sure you watched or you've heard.
I'm talking and you are going to Susan.
Oh, I thought you had ended because now you were talking about.
I'm making my.
I thought you had ended. And
did I tell you I've ended?
You were paying compliments to our
no, but
so I thought you had ended your submission.
How? What is this?
Okay, all right. Please.
Nashok, are you okay? Is everything fine?
We are fine. We are fine.
I mean, how?
I thought you had ended. But you.
You don't want me to talk.
I want you to talk, plese. Please land for me.
I finished.
Oh no, I want you to end.
No, I finished.
Anaya.
Because you even let me talk. You don't know the arguments I was going to espouse after that.
I apologize.
You said that. No, it's okay. It's okay. Since you don't want me to talk.
No, I want you to talk.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
How Susan has spoken extensively. I'm going back to Susan.
Nanaya.
I don't understand this.
Okay, please.
I was talking, you cut
Nanaya.
me. Then you went to the man.
I have apologized to you.
No, just apology.
I've apologized.
Then you go back to Susan.
Continue.
I'm not. Let's forget it. Go continue.
I'll come back to you.
I'll come back to you. No, but Susan, I haven't finished. And you say you are going to Susan.
See, we'll come back to you.
I am talking about Sophia Akufu, and she's coming to ask you about Sophia Akufu. You won't let me know.
Nanaya, and I said you should go ahead.
I won't go ahead. It's okay. You can go.
Okay, so I'll come back to you. So
have you seen this thing before?
Oh, Nanaya. I'll come back to you. And I'll give you ample time to make your point.
This is my first time.
Oh, Nanaya. See, we've spoken about this for 2 minutes.
And so what?
So we are wasting time.
We are not wasting time. You want to waste time.
All right.
What's your same way be that?
All right, Susan. You heard Sophia Akufu speak yesterday from Chief Justice. I believe you heard. And she made several points, including the fact that...
How come me? I'm talking about Sophia Akufu.
And I said you should go ahead. And you said you won't go ahead anymore.
No, but how can you stop me?
I have apologized to you. I figured you were done.
What? I mean, I was going to talk about...
So will you make your point?
I won't make any point, but I'm saying that why should you go back to somebody else to go and talk about what I was going to talk about?
Because it's a question I was going to ask both of you anyway.
But me, I'm on the name.
So would you make the point?
I'm not making any points. What is this?
We'll wait for you to make the point.
I don't understand you. I'm very serious.
So would you make the point?
Why should I make the point? When you stop me, you are going to ask.
So Nanaya, if you will not make the point, let's go to Susan and then we'll come back to you. And I have apologized to you, but you are not accepting my apology or accepting to speak.
You're cutting your nose to spite your face.
I'm cutting my nose to spite my face.
Exactly.
I am wondering why.
No, just continue and make your point and let everybody hear your point. Okay. Let me see my own before I forget.
So you remember when I come back to you.
I mean, I can understand the former
Chief Justice, former
Chief Justice. But even so, she has not been able to establish any untoward thing. You understand? I mean that this was wrong in terms of procedural. You did this and this was wrong, and you did that and that was wrong. It's okay for her to be grieved by the situation because you can understand she was formerly in that position. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you have been in a certain position, I'm not saying this is the case, but if you've been in a certain position and certain things, certain practices have been normalized, you understand, and somebody does it, you may not necessarily see it as wrong. If given what the petitioner said, the petition that went before the committee, talking about a certain abuse of office, and it's something that possibly is sort of normal in what we do already. You may not necessarily see it as wrong.
She said specifically that the gravity of the infractions complained of does not warrant or meet the threshold of the consequence which has been meted out.
But that is exactly what I'm saying, that when there are certain practices that we do normally all the time, we may be conscious that they are infractions, but we may not think that they are grave. You understand? And we let it slide. Oh, it's an infraction, but it's nothing, and so move on. But here is the case where we want CJ to be, even the appearance of the sin is enough to convict you. You get it.
Because of the office you hold.
Because of the office you hold. And so you don't even have to have the sin itself, but the appearance of the sin. And we always use, Caesar's wife as an example. She did not commit adultery, but the fact that the appearance of it looked like she had was enough to convict her. You get it. So I can understand the Lady Justice Akufu being like, not great. She's determining gravity. Is it subjective to her, or is it to the committee? You get it. So saying that it was not grave enough to come to the position in which she has to be removed. Justice Tokunu has to be removed. It's her view.
She doesn't even think the committee, she doesn't even think it should have gotten to the point of a committee being set up.
Because she feels that it was not grave enough. You get it? And was not grave enough to warrant it. So maybe a slap on the wrist was enough. You understand? Because has she, as Justice Akufu, been able to say that she, Justice Tokunu did no wrong at all? Nothing. There was absolute nothing. And they were trumped up. They were trumped up. No, she hasn't said that. They were not trumped up. You understand? And like I said, depending on where you sit, you may look at something as grave, and somebody may not look at it as grave. You get it? So she probably is not looking at it as grave, because I said that when you are in a certain position, certain practices may be infractions, but they become normalized such that everybody is doing it. But the fact that everybody does it, you understand, does not necessarily make it right.
Yeah.
And does not make it less of a sin. Are we here now talking about venial sins and sins that would get you into hell? No, we are saying a sin is a sin, and it's a sin, and it's finished. You understand? And that is where we are. So I can understand where she's coming from in terms of she being pained by the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it does not necessarily mean that the committee saw it her way. And having a legal background, that in cases, it depends on how strong your case is, apart from that. And also, it is subject to the experiences, the influences, the beliefs of the judge. As much as it depends on the law, it still does depend on the beliefs and the experiences of the judge. Of the committee. And the committee have decided that even the appearance of sin is enough to get you removed. I don't know whether the Justice Tokunu would go back to I don't know whether there's a right for appeal or wrongful dismissal. I can't tell. Maybe there is the opportunity for her to do that. We should take it. Maybe not, depending on her handlers and what they think the right thing to do. It will be interesting if she says that she wants to drag it and that she's going to sue the government for wrongful dismissal and that she doesn't deserve it. It will speak to her tenacity on holding on to things, and I mean,
I guess
it will be interesting. It will also be good for the national psyche if it is left at that, and we all move on from our lives.
Nana, I'm back to you with extra time.
You want to talk to
yes,
me?
I'm back to you with extra time.
I want to talk.
Nana, don't do this.
Why should I
don't do this.
I'm even a good person sitting here with you. What you did was very rude.
I'm sorry, Nana.
Sorry is not enough.
What shall I do?
I don't know.
How can I remedy this wrong?
I'm not even in the mood anymore. I'm talking, you just cut me off.
I'm sorry.
No, what is that?
I am sorry.
She's apologized.
So many times.
Move on, and severally. Nana, move on.
Who should move on?
I want to know your thoughts about what the former Lady Chief Justice.
I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. Move on to something else.
You don't want to talk about Sofia Akufo anymore?
But I was going to talk about it and you stopped.
I have apologized to you for that.
What do you want to hear? Move on, Max.
I didn't know you were not done talking at the time I moved on.
I started the preamble.
Yes, and I've apologized.
You go to school, you know what preamble is.
Hey, Jesus Christ. Okay, let me read some of your messages coming in, and then hopefully by the time we come back, Nanaya will forgive us and let us know what her good thoughts are on the matter. Good morning, Na, and this is from Mawuse Aibi Ayesta, texting from the Volta region. It's inappropriate for the former Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Tokonu to seek ECOWAS court's intervention after her dismissal, which was based on a substantial evidence under Article 146. Her decision undermines the integrity of the judicial system and sets a very dangerous precedent. Justice should be served through proper legal channels within a national framework, respecting the rule of law. International courts are not a refuge for unsolved internal disputes. And he ends by saying, well, this is the law. All right. Now, what the former CJ, Sofia Akufo, what does the former CJ take Ghanaians for? First-time offenders, plantain stealers are languishing in jail for years. And because someone is the Chief Justice, if she violates a judicial regulation and travels by paying $3 for her husband and daughter, Ghana is expected to present her a bouquet. Former appointees are in jail, and a whole EC boss was sacked for procurement breaches. And a whole CJ can violate the Constitution by engaging in free giving of her taxes to her family. All right, you want us to celebrate her, and that's the question he asks. All right. B.T.Style Sly says, the Constitution is not about feminism advocacy. It's about the rule of law. If the removal of the Chief Justice is understood to be an infringement of the independence of the judiciary, then the framers of the Constitution would not have included Article 146. Those complaining today hailed the removal of my uncle, Paul Otaderi, as victory for the rule of law. What has changed today? Good morning. He says a special good morning to Speaker Bagbin and wife, Mrs. Alice Adjoa. All right. Now, kindly read the whole of Article 146 for us to your viewers. Right. All right. Mrs. Susan Edu Amankwe's views that the President was an active participant in the removal process of the Chief Justice is not right. All right. Let me just read two more, and then I'll come back to Nanaya. Prince Harry from Koforidua says, what is so special about this issue? What is so special about this Chief Justice that was not special about Charlotte Osei and Laureata Lamte? The NDC and President Mahama have no hands in removing the Chief Justice. Rather, the President acted based on what the Constitution requires him to do. The Chief Justice is her own problem. And the people of Sal... All right. I don't think I should read the rest of it. Okay. Good morning. Good morning to you and the lovely ladies in the studio. Please tell Nanaya that we want to hear her submission on Sofia Akufo. It's very important to us. Please, we beg. Yes, I join you in begging. And then this is the last one. Now, please read our messages on Facebook. I'll do that when I come back to the messages in a bit. I think I've read enough of your messages coming out. I'll get to Facebook in a bit. Nanaya.
Yes.
Please, what are your thoughts on the submissions made by former Chief Justice Sophia Kufu?
Let's move on to the whole process.
Okay.
So what I was saying is that you are just lucky. I've got a lot of messages that I say I should forgive you.
Thank you to all those messages, Auntie Nanaya, this morning.
What I'm saying is that the former Chief Justice, that is Araba Tokun, she's showing so much vulnerability, as I said before. And the Constitution was used to remove her, right? It wasn't done arbitrarily. And if anybody starts mentioning the president's name and trying to impugn some manipulation, it then becomes a bit unfortunate. Because you heard somebody said you should read the Article 146.
Yes.
Okay. It would give you why a Chief Justice should be removed. And this Chief Justice, as she has been removed, wasn't done in a vacuum. A committee was put in place headed by a Justice of the Supreme Court. And that is credibility. And if there is, I believe that if there is any...
There are actually two justices on
two justices. If there is any leeway, if there is anything, because they use the law. And she has always told us that no matter how we whine, no matter how we bat our eyelids, no matter how we squeeze our faces, no matter how we squirm our lips, the law is the law. And we're taking a cue from her. And I've taken it very well, me, myself, that the law is the law. So now the law has been used. A petition has come there about, there was more than one petition, right?
But three.
But three. And only one of the petitions was used. This shows that they did a thorough work. In spite of interjections here and there, going to Commonwealth, doing that, they did a thorough because they looked at the veracity of all the petitions and said that this particular one is the one that has some merit. So I don't think that they did anything anyhow. I don't think that they just decided to remove her for the sake of removing her. If you talk about all those audit issues, they are also on one side. But the point is that for her at this moment to say that her human rights was violated.
Yes.
In what way? What happened to her? What showed that she was molested, she was mistreated, something untoward was done to her?
Well, I think she began by speaking about the fact that even the petition itself was not served on her.
Was that human rights? That is maybe an administrative flaw.
Well,
that is not human rights.
Okay. Well, I can't speak for her, but if you bring an allegation against someone based on a petition,
and that is her view.
Yeah,
that is what she said.
They have to. Yeah, that's what she said.
Yes. Have we heard from the other side? The government, Attorney General, the committee, have we heard from them? That is her word against somebody else's word. But I am saying that even granted that it is true, that is an administrative lapse. It's got nothing to do with your human rights. Human rights is a serious thing. She being a lawyer, I believe she knows what human rights is. It's a serious matter. And I don't think that anything that went on, Charlotte went through it. Did she ever utter a word? Has she even ever spoken? Do you understand? Even what was charged against Charlotte was more of, it has to do with her work. And if you know how the EC works, sometimes these things, but I don't want to go there. But it was her work. And she was removed. And I always say that the EC is very important because if the EC messes up, our democracy has messed up. The whole country will be in a mess. So nobody would say that, oh, the Chief Justice is more important. If the EC messes up and there is a problem with our elections and something happens, there will be no Chief Justice. There will be no president. There will be no parliament. The three arms of government will be off. Do you get me? So, I don't see why somebody has gone through, other people. So many people have gone through. Nobody went to ECOWAS, Commonwealth. No, it doesn't look beautiful. It doesn't look beautiful. For my mother, the Chief Justice before, Mrs. Sophia Kufu, she was more emotive. I didn't see her talk about issues to do with the law. She was talking about a process where it should not happen and that the judiciary is sacrosanct. This is what she was talking about. She did not hit on any substantive matter that granted that she, being a judge, such a matter came before her. I expected her to tell us in relation to the Constitution how she would have dealt with it. Granted that she was the chairman of that committee. And in relation to the Constitution, how would she have dealt with it? That is what I was expecting to hear from her. But of course, because she has been there before, certainly she will have some emotional attachment to the matter. And that one, nobody can fault her for that. But she did not give any substantive in relation to the matter that it should have been done A, B, C, D, E. And I believe in my own view it was not done like that. Since she was not able to do that, no matter the weaknesses of the Constitution, the basis upon which this Mrs. Tokonu was removed, if there is a flaw or there is an opening, then we can look at that later through the Constitutional Review Committee. But as long as it stands today, Gertrude Araba Esaba Tokonu has been removed through due process. And I believe that it should be accepted. And if we take out the politics, it will be good for all of us. Because the moment
it's not a political issue.
Yes, the moment we put the politics in it, it becomes retracted. Petitions are written against so many people in this country. And on the basis of those petitions, people lose their jobs, people go to court, people go to prison. This is not the first time a petition has been written against somebody. Even the former president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the petitions were written against, he went to Parliament, and they wanted to invoke the portion of the Constitution that said that 2/3 of Parliament can impeach him. We were here. Petitions were written against Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta. He met an ad hoc committee. He went. They interrogated him. We don't know what happened to that. But I am trying to say that, and I am saying categorically that this has been done. Going to ECOWAS court is neither here nor there. Seriously speaking, because the ECOWAS court has no jurisdiction over us. And what is she asking? That they should give her $10 million for what? For human rights abuses? What about the people who lost their money? And some couldn't buy their medicines through the DDEP, whatever it was those days. Those who lost their money because they went to buy government bonds, that wasn't human right. Did they ask for $10 million? She's asking for $10 million, money that could be used to build a hospital for cancer patients, that could be used to support medical bills for people who are sick. And she's asking for $10 million. She must be a very great jewel that for some human rights abuse that we don't see, cannot be seen. Yes, it might be a great jewel because she might be a very special Ghanaian. Because we cannot see when human rights abuses happen, you feel it like you did to me this morning. You abused my human rights. That one is open. Everybody saw it. You didn't allow me to speak. You get me? So, why are you laughing? I'm serious. So the point is that we don't start. The point is that
I'm not cutting you. See how silent I sit.
So the point is that $10 million.
It's a lot of money.
It doesn't even for what? For something that we did not see.
Human rights abuses are personal, so we might not see or experience it. But the person who claims
there are conditions
usually would know what they are.
There are conditions that would show that, and it will be so clear that for this one,
Okay.
Somebody was not treated fairly.
Okay.
Like you did to me this morning, and everybody has seen.
Let me come to Godfrey Wood, who has just joined us, lawyer, lecturer, and also a very important contributor to the show. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. So we are almost heading towards the end of our conversation. We're talking about the Chief Justice's removal and the matters arising. We know she's back at the ECOWAS court, and the Attorney General, Deputy, has spoken about the fact that the reason the Republic hasn't filed a defense and so on is because the ECOWAS court has no jurisdiction to hear the matter. And so many other matters arising, including former Chief Justice Sophia Ekufu's comments on the matter. I'm going to give you the opportunity to just give us a general views on all of it.
Well, good morning to you and good morning to our viewers. I'll just say that I've been out of town for about a month.
Welcome back.
So I didn't even know the Chief Justice had gone before a committee. Because when I was leaving, one Alfred Abebiokumi had petitioned on May 19, 2025, the President to dissolve the 5-member committee investigating the petitions because some persons on the committee were implicated in a private mail, and it was contrary to ethics. It was a compromise of the committee's credibility, and it was also a compromise of judicial ethics, conflict of interest, breach, and what have you. So I didn't know she had gone before the committee, but I respect her that she did. It shows that, she's very responsible and, she's very responsible and acknowledges some form of authority. But I wouldn't have recommended that she goes before that committee because
she shouldn't have gone.
No, because the petition to the president was still being investigated. I know that Denta Kumio, as he's popularly known, was arrested with the videos that he showed, and he was arrested for publishing false information, and it took some intervention for him to be released from incarceration. So the committee position had not even been confirmed, whether it was competent and whether it did amount to conflict of interest. So that is hanging there. And then I also will assure her that since she's only 62, our Chief Justice has not even turned 63. She has 8 years ahead of her. If there's any...
In terms of what?
In terms of the opportunity to continue serving as Chief Justice. So if there's any new administration, then her situation could be looked at, because as we said, 3 petitions came. One of them cannot even be identified. I'm told there's something called shining stars, whether it's a human being, whether it's a spirit, whether it's a ghost, whether it's an alien, we haven't located them. And then you will also believe that if it's 3 petitions, then this committee, which has already been alleged to be compromised, will have looked at the 3 petitions. But they didn't. So the chief, people talk and they are giving the patients and all the attention, and I can't talk. I'm making my point. After you asked me to come and talk.
Yes. But I want to ask you a question.
So I haven't finished. So because of that, the Chief Justice, hello, can you hear me? Yes. So because of that, the Chief Justice has 8 years ahead of her. She can be reinstated by the next administration, especially considering the so-called unethical implications hanging on the 5-member committee, and also considering that some of the petitioners could not even be located, and all that. So all these anomalies, which we can go into, but which we don't have time, will guarantee that she's reinstated. So she should hold her peace. This whole anomaly will be expunged from our judicial history. Because now when you go on Google and all that, it's hanging there as history. It will be expunged.
It will not be expunged.
Okay, now I've landed, so you can talk.
The internet does not forget. It will not be expunged.
No, but likewise, the internet will not forget the hanging ambiguity on the 5-member committee and the petition on May 19 before the president.
Did you listen to Sophia Ekufu?
Oh, we've listened.
Okay, no, because you said you were out of town, you were not aware that she had gone before the committee at all.
I just heard that. Just heard about that she went before the committee and all that, and I respected her for doing that, because the petition concerning that committee, is before the president, and nothing has come out of it yet.
Okay, it's
if I were the
it's rather
committee
unfortunate
members,
that we don't have.
If I were the committee
It's rather unfortunate that we
for
don't
the
have so much
purposes
time
of
to
integrity,
go into this.
I would even have
properly.
waited for the president to look at the petition, investigate it before continuing sitting.
But who said?
Because the private meal,
Okay,
the so-called private meal, is all over there.
We have to wrap up.
It's all over the media.
I'm going to just come back to you, ladies, to give us your final words so we can go. I'm told we have to go. 8:30 is up.
Okay.
So let me just come back to you to give us your final words before we go.
Okay.
All right, Nanaya.
I'm just trying to say that we should. Sometimes we have to correct facts. 3 petitions were sent. They interrogated all the 3 petitions and noticed that there's only one that had veracity to.
One was gone into.
One was gone. Did you get it?
Only
one.
Yes.
So anybody who says that there were 3 petitions and they didn't look, they looked at it. And I believe anybody who tries to denigrate this committee, for me, it's problematic. Because these people on the committee have repeatedly said that the people are very credible people. And I don't see why they should be denigrated in any manner. And if anybody respects the laws of this nation, if anybody respects the Constitution, that person would never ever say that the people and that the woman will be brought back. Fine. Anybody who thinks that they can bring her back is none of anybody's business. But the point is that then it means you are telling us that the Constitution that we have there is neither here nor there, or you don't even respect the Constitution. Did anybody reinstate Charlotte? You think Charlotte, the process that they took Charlotte through was good? But Charlotte was quiet. She's been doing her own thing. Now she's on her own, doing her own thing. Why should the person be reinstated when the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana has indicated otherwise? Tell me, why? That's why I'm asking that maybe Arabato Konu is a very, very rare jewel that we've never seen before. Charlotte was sacked. EC, first female EC chair. She was sacked through some process that we don't even understand. But she didn't go around making noise. Did you ever hear anybody in NDC at the time even speak for Charlotte or say anything in that manner? No. The process went on, and Charlotte left. Charlotte is not a jewel. This one must be one of the jewels we've never seen before.
For historic reasons.
So
can I
please?
Yeah. So for historic reasons, she was stuck with her 2 deputies. For historic reasons.
I'm not sure about this thing about the court not having jurisdiction, because the court, it says, and the article, the ECOWAS, it says the court has jurisdiction to determine cases of violation of human rights that occur in member states.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, we are a member state, so they will grant hearing to the case, whatsoever, as the lawyer has indicated. Whether we, as a sovereign nation, decide whether we want to go and present our side of the case, or if they grant relief to her, whether we want to pay up or not, that's a totally different thing. You get it. But as long as we have ratified the treaties, the ECOWAS treaties, and we're a member state, the court has jurisdictions in terms of human rights violations. And if you go through the article, they say that, the human rights violation, suffice to say that you have, as long as you have said that your rights have been violated, they would listen to it. Of course, you would have to prove it. You would have to show that, etc., etc., etc. But so it's okay that she goes there. Whether we will, adhere to the protocol and whatever comes out of there, we will, entertain it and say we will pay. That's a totally different thing. But I think that the issue is no laws have been broken. Nothing untoward has been happened. But we all understand that even if there's the politics of it, you understand, the politics of it does look like, oh, we didn't like her politics, which some of us did have concerns about it. You know, she played the politics, and the politics has removed her. It's as simple as that. But I'm
surprised you're saying the politics has removed her, because
I mean,
I thought we were all understanding and agreeing.
You see,
that
but you don't understand what I'm saying. But I'm saying that.
But we have to end it now.
She was very political.
We have to end it now.
And the politics
we have
has
to end it
her.
now. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming in today. I appreciate your time and your contributions on the matter of whether or not the courts have jurisdiction. Well, it was spoken about extensively by Justice Srem Sai, the Deputy Attorney General, and he, in his opinion, the court does not have jurisdiction to hear this matter, and that is what led to the Republic not entering defense, not filing a defense, and because of which the former Chief Justice is seeking judgment in default of defense. So let's listen to him now. My colleague Joseph Akable had an extensive conversation with him on this matter, the matter of jurisdiction, the entire matter before the ECOWAS courts, and other matters arising after the removal of the Chief Justice. You're watching TV3 New Day. We'll be right back.